Hello, and today we're talking about protein. It's the macronutrient that helps build lean tissue and keeps us healthy. What I'm going to be talking about today is whether you can get too much of it, or if you don't get enough, what are the kind of consequences of that. And we're also going to be talking about what's the right kind of amount to be having. There's been a study that's saying that a high protein diet is as bad for you as smoking 20 cigarettes per day. Again, these are very bold claims, normally to confuse people and get clicks. So we're going to be trying to clear a bit of that up today and to find out what is the truth about protein. Can you really be having too much? So, if protein is too high, what is going to happen? A lot of the time, it's probably unnecessary to be getting really high amounts of it. However, I'd be more worried about not getting enough. This is especially true if you're training and you need it to help with muscle repair. If you do get too much, there have been reports that it's bad for your kidneys. However, if we really look at that, yes, it does get the kidneys to work a bit harder. But, as with everything, the kidneys will adapt to that higher load and they'll actually become better at processing the protein. This works in the same way that your cardio system will get better if you exercise and your heart will get stronger and your muscles will get stronger if you're lifting weights. So if there is excess protein in the diet, a lot of the time that will just get converted to carbohydrate by a process called gluconeogenesis, which means that can still get stored as body fat if we're having too many overall calories. So this gluconeogenesis will normally happen when carbs are low in the diet as well, and the body doesn't have enough energy that is required. So it will take protein away from muscles to convert that to energy. So if protein is low and energy intake is also low, you will end up losing muscle as this protein gets converted. Now, this means that you will lose weight. However, it means that you're probably going to be losing muscle mass instead of actual body fat. And if you're losing muscle mass, that means that overall your metabolism will go slower, so the amount of calories going out will actually be less. This will then make it easier for you in the future to be storing body fat and worsen body composition. I see this all the time when people are trying to lose weight really quickly. They drop the calories right down, they then lose muscle. Then what happens, as that metabolism has gone down, they go back to eating a normal diet. But that normal diet now is actually going to be putting more body fat on because they're not burning as many calories. And this classically describes the yo-yo dieting culture. The comparison of high protein diet to smoking has been refuted. The NHS put on their website to debunk it pretty much straight off. High protein can be healthy, especially if you get it from healthy sources like lean meats, especially if that's grass-fed, fresh fish and natural food sources. The time it becomes unhealthy is if you're getting your protein from more processed sources, such as processed meat, bacon, sausage, the really nice stuff. So it isn't that protein is bad for you, it's more about the source you get it from. So the last point on protein is about when I hear that you can only digest about 30 grams of protein in one sitting. Now this is not true, it just needs to be reworded a little bit by what it actually means. So if you eat a certain amount of protein, you're going to digest it all. If we didn't, I can't imagine we're still going to be alive as a species. So when people say this, what they're actually referring to is protein synthesis. So if you're wanting to grow muscle, you need protein synthesis. There is an amount of protein, let's call it 30 grams, that if you go past that, you're not going to get any further returns on protein synthesis. This obviously will be different for everyone, but if you were to have more than that 30 grams, then you're not going to get more protein synthesis. You will still digest the protein, but it may just get used for other things. So if someone's bodybuilding and wants to maximize that muscle growth, then yeah, they probably don't need any more than that 30 grams, and then they're probably better off just having that 30 grams there and then waiting a few hours and having another 30 grams to keep it topped up, rather than just having the 60 all in one go. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about getting more protein. That protein will go into a pool of amino acids within the body that can be used at a later time. The recommended daily allowance for protein is generally very low. That's the kind of minimum amount a sedentary person would need. But if you are active and you are kind of in the gym, then you're going to need to up that protein a little bit. So what is the optimal amount to have? Generally, a really easy way to work this out is to go with just 1 gram per pound of body weight. To be even more specific, you'll need to know your lean body weight. So you need to know your body fat percentage. Then it will be 1.2 to 1.4 grams per pound of lean body weight. And just to be clear, when you've worked this out, this doesn't mean grams of meat you need to have. So if you need 150 grams of protein, because you're 150 pounds, that doesn't mean that you'll eat 150 grams of chicken, because a lot of the time 150 grams of chicken will probably actually only provide 45 grams of protein. So you need to work it out accordingly. So protein is a really important macronutrient, and generally we don't get enough of it. Do try and get them from healthy, natural sources if health is of importance to you. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out my video on carbs and fats as well. Give it a like and subscribe to my channel.